recent years, film and television have returned to exploring toxic masculinity as performance, a trend that peaked in the 1990s with films like Fight Club and American Psycho. These films explored how toxic masculinity can be violent and dangerous. But films like Beau Travail and The Plague rather focus on where the performances of toxic masculinity originate from. Erving Goffman defines performance as all the activity of an individual which occurs during a period marked by his continuous presence before a particular set of observers and which has some influence on the observers. Both films are set in an all-male collective which are separated from the outside world's influence. Therefore, its members are always performing their masculinity and gender accordingly to a set of rules. This creates tension due to a social construction of gender itself. As Judith Butler writes in her book Gender Trouble, gender is also a norm that can never be fully internalized. The internal is a surface signification, and the gender norms are finally phantasmatic, impossible to embody. All of us perform our gender differently in different social settings. Being exposed to only one social setting, especially in those in which the performance of gender is required to be accepted, as in an army or at all-boys sports camp, then not only creates an inability to get a rest from the performance, but also normalizes this specific performance as the main one. This can then normalize the performance of toxic masculinity as a self-preservation method. In both above-mentioned films, the main characters fail to perform their role due to a disruption of the social order by a member who refuses to perform the required role they are cast in. In this video, I will analyze 3 scenes in which the 2 main characters and 1 supporting character break the social norm setup. First, we will look at The Plague and how it depicts the tiredness created by perpetual performance which leads into a breakdown. And then, I will share my focus on Beau Travail, as it shows where the toxic masculinity learned in childhood can lead to, and that this can then lead to an inability to perform for anyone if the person loses their viewers of their performativity.
Why are you so terrible at everything?
Set it up, DJ!
The Plague, taking place in 2003, follows a teenage boy Ben, played by Everett Blanc, at his stay at a water polo summer camp. Ben, along with the boys' leader Jake, portrayed by Kyle Martin, bully a fellow player Eli, played by Kenny Rasmussen. Eli is a boy on the spectrum who suffers from an unknown skin disease about which the boys spread a rumor that it is infectious through touch with symptoms of almost a zombie virus. In this scene, the boys snuck out to party outside. In a classic boy manner, they fool around. Then one of the boys starts blasting Feeling So Real by Moby, and all the boys engage in silly, semi-ironic dancing. But once they notice Eli is dancing as well, but in an actual sincere way, they immediately start picking up on his reaction to the music. The only reason why Eli becomes the target is because he refuses to participate in the group's dynamics. The boys are bullying Eli not only out of cruelty, but because they fear becoming the next target by showing compassion. Especially Ben is aware of this. That is why he then pushes Eli on the ground. As Michael Kimmel noticed in his research for Guyland, boys and men learn to be silent in the face of other men's violence. They know that they risk everything, their friendships, their sense of self, maybe even their lives, if they fail to conform. Therefore, in the opposition to the fact that Ben feels compassion for Eli, as we are shown in the previous scenes, Ben still engages in bullying. Ben is stuck performing his gender for the other boys. That is why he performatively washes himself in the rainwater after striking Eli down. But the weight of guilt, as well as the pressure of being forced to perform this toxic masculinity, makes Ben break his performance when believing no one else is around. Ben showing compassion to Eli does not go without notice of other boys, especially once Ben helps Eli with application of the ointment on Eli's back. Not only is Ben seen by Jake, but the mysterious skin disease begins to appear on Ben. He is now between 2 worlds, but not being able to be in either. Ben's rashes are a mark of femininity in the eyes of the other boys, therefore he will not be accepted among them. But Ben's toxic masculinity makes it impossible to embrace a new role in friendship with Eli, and instead leads to Ben venting his aggression on Eli. Ben, witnessing Eli cutting his finger off, completely breaks his mask, the ability to know when to perform which role. The film is now completely silent as Ben is entering the ballroom again. The framing and color grading separates Ben from the rest of the kids as he approaches them. Again, we see all the kids engage in semi-ironic dancing as Ben is looking at all of them. Feeling surreal slowly builds up. Ben is not reacting at first, and he slowly starts moving up. He is leaving the performance he was forced to act. The others start to notice him, just like they noticed Eli before. But this time the camera does not offer us the perspective of the viewers about Ben's dancing. The next shot is a hectic panning of the camera around which blends all the faces together. Ben now no longer performs for others. The sound of the music is distorted and muffled. The film shows us through the cinematic language Ben losing his ability to perform. Beau Travail, based on the unfinished novella Billy Budd written by Herman Melville, premiered at Venice in 1999. The film follows Galou, played by Denis Lavant, who is reflecting on his membership in the French Foreign Legion in Djibouti from his home in Marseille. He was discharged from the Legion for attempting to kill a fellow soldier Gil, played by Gregoire Colin. The reason for this is the same as in The Plague. Gil refused to perform his role in the army. As Susan Hayward writes in her essay on Beau Travail, the Legion assumes very clear binary sexual distinctions. In fact, its whole purpose is to get men to perform masculinity at all times. The film suggests that Galou is a closeted homosexual who uses the rigid rules of the army as a way to hide his sexuality. He is especially performatively cruel to his subordinates. This scene takes place as the second to last. Despite Galou's discharge from the Legion, he is still holding up to the army's way of living. The camera and its long take make us see every detail Galou is focusing on. The camera then pans on his body. The posture he strikes seals his need for the army life. It is as if he acts two roles at the same time, of the soldier who makes his bed, but also the role of the superior rank checking the quality of the job. A quick cut into the memory of the Legion works not only as a way inside Galou's head, but as well as transition for him grabbing his gun. He revolved his whole life around performance of masculinity for others, but now when he is left alone, he has no one else to perform to. Galou is not lacking a role to perform, he is refusing to perform the newly given role. That is why he kills himself with his gun, a gun which is itself a signifier of the role he was holding up to and which is now lost.
Serre la bonne cause et meurt.
The rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh yeah.
Just as in The Plague, the rhythm of the night slowly fades in. Galou is now completely alone in an empty dance hall. But while Ben was not able to perform anymore due to his breakdown, Galou has nobody to perform to. It takes some time for Galou to realize that in a way he is free from performing an unhealthy role for other people. But once he realized that, he starts frantically dancing. This scene was not planned to be at the end of the film, but thanks to Denis' decision to put it there, it shows the huge difference between the inability to not perform and being able to not perform anymore.